Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As you can tell, behind me is the beginning of our brand new Megabase that we're making in LEGO Fortnite Expert Mode. This is my most ambitious and largest project ever, and I'm not going to spoil it all in the intro. You guys are going to have to wait and watch this all come together throughout this video, but let's just say that this is going to be an insane build, and you guys are going to be witnessing all of it over the course of the next few months in this server. I hope you guys enjoy, though. This is an insane build that's only just getting started. Leave a like if you're excited. Enjoy. Welcome back. It's a brand new day out here in our solo survival series world where we are playing on expert mode, and today we're starting on our new mega base. You guys probably know this by now, but building is one of my favorite parts of this game, and unfortunately I haven't really built much in this village. That all changes today though, and I'm super excited to use everything I've learned over the past 6 months and make my best village yet. We're going to be taking you through this entire process. No way. She just gave me a bookshelf. Okay, I can actually use that for the build. But I'm taking you through the entire process of what we're doing here today. So the first thing we have to do is actually look for a spot of land. There's still a lot of this world that I'm going to need to explore, but I have explored quite a bit so far. I have a basic idea of where I want to put this village down, but I need to make sure that it's the right spot. So we've got our brand new grappler, and we are just going to go ahead and explore for a bit. And what I'll do is I'll take you guys through my thought process as I explore, because where you choose to live in this game is actually a very big decision. Overall, there's just a lot of things that you have to consider. Obviously, things like your village's proximity to caves, resources, and other biomes. And this spot is really cool because I like the water. I think that building something in the middle of a body of water is a great idea. As we all know, this is expert mode, and yeah, just living in the middle of a body of water seems like a very safe spot because obviously brutes can't attack you, skeletons won't even really be able to get to you, and there's not a whole lot of ways you could really mess up inside of your village. I have a big problem of going AFK in my world, and if I go AFK in a grasslands village or somewhere on land, then, you know, anything can happen. So this is definitely location number one that I'm gonna consider, but we gotta find more options. The downsides of a location like this are that it's pretty low. I mean, everything surrounding it is higher than it, and I kind of like a view, so maybe this isn't the spot. Another issue is that it's also still a little bit far from the Frostlands, although you could still see the Frostlands, and it's not a horrible deal. Just something that I needed to consider, and actually, you know what? We never pass up on a good brute scale, so let's do this. That was easy. Another brute scale for our inventory. Anyway, let's continue exploring. I'll catch up with you guys when I find somewhere that looks interesting to me. Here's us pulling up on spot number 2. And as you can see, this is the top of a hill, so kind of the opposite of the other one. We get views all around this place. Obviously, it's also very close to the Frostlands biome, which is always nice. There's quite a bit of flatland right here. And then if you go over this hill, there's also more flatland. If I just fly down a little bit, you'll see that this spot right here is another spot where you can definitely build a follow-up building or village. And then not only that, over here we have this really cool rock formation. I'm not sure exactly what you would call something like this, but I do have an idea on some very cool building techniques I could use to incorporate this into an actual build. A few more good things about this spot is that there's a cave right there. Not only that though, if I open my map, the Star Wars cave is also very close. And coming over to the other side of the hill, you can see that there's a completely abandoned, rundown village out there. That just means there's a lot of flat land over there as well to build something in the future. Oh yeah, and one more cool thing to add. Right behind me, there's a Durburger head. Honestly, that doesn't mean much, but it is pretty cool and I like the view. So this is definitely a potential spot that we can build our village. Right over this way though, there is a big body of water once again, and I need to check this one out next. And wow, this is a ginormous lake. This is crazy. And I mean, this spot could be cool to build a village because not only is there a ginormous lake, there's obviously this island that I'm standing on as well. Oh man, I actually really like this spot. It's not that far from the Frostlands or that hill. I'm just curious as to what is down this river because this will be an interesting... Oh my, it's a drylands biome. I don't know why it's so foggy outside right now, but this is insane. Ooh, is that that's a storm-sick grasslands brute. I've been needing one of these for so long. Hang on. I think it's time to take on this fight and finally get our grasslands trophy. Oh, yo, wait. Oh my goodness, that was scary. Oh, I'm so glad I upgraded my charms last video. Anyway, we went ahead and we eliminated a storm brute, which means that we now can go claim our trophy, but that means we have to go back home, so I'll do that in a little bit. For the time being though, I have a decision to make, and I really like this spot. I think all of the natural landscapes around this place, I mean, we have a river, we have these really cool rock formations once again, we have a shore biome, and then obviously we have our entire lake. I think this is definitely the most fun spot overall, and there's so many unique aspects to it. You You even have pretty easy access to this first island that's next to everything. And I think for all of the reasons we just listed, this is going to be the spot where we build our first real village in this world. I forgot to even mention this part, but we're also just going to have so many fishing spots, which is pretty good, although fishing is kind of useless. Let's get into this because I'm excited to start building. So what I'm going to do, since this is the only kind of chest I can put down, is leave a couple of these on the floor. The reason why I put so many is because, you know, these only hold 8 items. And I need to transfer all of my things over from my main village, which is kind of far. I mean, it's not that far, but you can see the distance. It's not close. I gotta go get all my stuff from there, and I gotta bring it over here. And I also need a lot of granite. So before I transfer things, we gotta go on a little resource run. And I believe that the main resource we're gonna be using for this build is granite. So I'm just gonna hit a bunch of rocks. Oh my. Wait, my pickaxe just broke. Since we didn't fill our inventory fully with granite, we can come back over here to our main village and grab some more stuff. I'm going to transfer all of this over time, but for the time being, I have a little bit of goodies. Oh yeah, and I should probably make another pickaxe. And here we are. We made it with our pickaxe in our hand and also a few goodies. And with all of that put away, except for the granite, it is time to start on our build. Like I said, I have a basic idea of what I want to do, but it's very rough. So I just hopped into the water and we're just going to start building and see where it takes us. This is my first build that I've done in a very long time. If you guys are excited for it, drop a like. Oh yeah, and also code Kaz in the item shop. Let's go. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, this is our base. Well, it's just the start of it, but as you can see, it is pretty big so far. And of course, like I mentioned, it's fully safe because it's over the water. I've already been AFK here and, you know, no mob showed up, which is a great sign. I still left a little bit of it unfinished so I could show you guys what I was doing in the time lapse. And basically all it was putting together a bunch of these pieces right here. It's from the Lockie's Lighthouse bundle, and what it does is it has a nice little curved edge right here. The only problem is there's gaps. So if I just take these floor pieces and I try to fit it in, you can see that there is a 1 stud gap right here. It's not the biggest deal in the world since, you know, the floor is a little rough and there's definitely some gaps in it. In my opinion, that's not the end of the world though, since a lot of this floor does look pretty rough and there are a lot of spots around it. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to show you guys what we've been up to off camera, and it is just fitting in all of these pieces. And just like that, we got a few more gaps filled in. I mean, these are hardly even noticeable. It's just a tiny little square, and I'm not going to worry about it too much. And I think with those gaps filled in, if we go around this entire thing, it should be completely good. One design choice that I don't know if I love is that I built a higher up section on both edges this way and then flat over on the other sides. Basically, what I mean is there's a staircase over there, but there's not one here. Not sure how I like it and not sure exactly what I'm going to do moving forward, but for the time being, we're going to keep it as is. You might be wondering where the actual base is going to be, and that is a good question and one that I'm still trying to figure out just a little bit. One thing I do know for certain is I want this to be a multi-level design. So if I come down here, you can see that I've already started filling in a bit of the floor. A few weeks ago, you might have seen me do a world tour with my friend Jins. He's an amazing builder and he did something really cool on the water. I'll pop up a video on screen so you can see it, but basically he built an entire village along the water, and he had some pretty creative ways of leaving gaps so that you could see the water, although most of the water was still covered. You'll see it on screen. It's hard to explain, but I want to do something similar here. And now that's got me thinking, I wonder if I could build staircases down this way. This might be a really creative way to kind of implement both sides. And hold on, this might be sick actually. Okay, so we have a ginormous staircase here that leads us down to this tier. Ooh, okay. I actually kind of like this. What I'm thinking is I can go over to this side and maybe even block off the entry with a sidewalk like this kind of. I mean, I didn't even put that in the right spot, but you know what I mean. If I built a wall out of sidewalks like this, you wouldn't be able to enter on these sides. Again, the gapping is horrible, so we're going to tear this down for now. But I think you guys get the point. I can block off this side and the other side. And then over here, I can build a bridge that goes out to the land, and I can do the same thing on the other side. I think that's a good idea. And like I said, I don't have any plans on what I'm actually doing. I'm kind of just freestyling the entire build. And one of the things that comes with not having any plans is the fact that when you put stuff down, sometimes you don't like it. Kind of like the ground that I'm standing on right now. Okay, so I just broke the floor right here and it's sunk underwater and it's not coming up. What do I do? I'm trying to pickaxe swing it from above, and yeah, I just don't know what I'm supposed to do in this situation. Somebody help me. If anybody has any suggestion, let me know. I'm probably going to need to get some remote explosives. Anyway, we're going to try not to let that stop us from continuing this build, because as you just saw, I broke the floor for a reason, and that's so I could start putting in sidewalks instead, because I think these look a lot better and match the aesthetic. It also is a color change from the top section, which is a darker gray, which I kind of like. Oh, and look at that. I actually fixed our floor too. I think I can get it now. For the moment of truth. Will it come all the way up? Ah, okay, there we go. Anyway, before I got distracted, I was coming over here to do the same staircase design on the opposite side. Okay, and we just started laying out our first bridge, and obviously it's nowhere close to being done. Only problem is I only have 3 pieces of granite, and there's one more little bridge feature I want to add before the end of this video. I do need a little bit more granite though, and one thing I want to note is that I'm not going to be breaking any of the landscape around my build. In my first survival world, I farmed basically every single resource around where I built my villages, and it looked very empty around the exterior. So yeah, with this build, I want to keep all of the natural landscape as much as possible, so not cutting down any trees or any rocks or anything like that. Instead, we're just gonna get our granite from this cave right here. And we've made it back with a lot more granite than we had before. What the heck? Oh yeah, I forgot that wolves can swim. Yeah, that's interesting. I kind of forgot about that. Anyway, what we were gonna do here is go ahead and try a interesting building technique that I've tried once before. If you guys watched my video recently on the golf course, I did the same exact thing that I'm about to do. Essentially, what we're gonna go ahead and do is flip a cube onto its side so we can start building sideways. Okay, so we built a little something so we can push this into a corner just like, oh, okay, that's upside down. We don't want that. Yeah, that one didn't work great. Let's try that again. All right, we're gonna break this. It's gonna drop, and there we go. You gotta stay with me because there's a reason that we're doing this. Let's push it into the corner for safe measures. Let's make sure that it gets right in there so it's aligned with the world grid. I'm not sure if you even have to do that, but I always do. Then we're gonna come over here to the walls, and we are gonna find the same exact wall we used earlier for Lockie's lighthouse. So just like this, we have this one, and you can kind of see where this is going. Okay, and we got the build going. You can kind of see what's going to happen with this one, but let me cook a little bit more, and I'll see you guys when it's daytime. Okay, so it is daytime, and as you can see, we are finishing up our build at the moment. I still gotta mess with the connection here because it is a little rough around the edges, but for the most part, it is actually done. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do yet for this. I think some sort of bars like I just put down would be good, but I need to think about it a little bit more, so I'm gonna leave it blank for now. I threw a nice little window piece in, so that matches as well, and with all of that done, this is our bridge. Like I mentioned, this is still a work in progress, but this village is gonna be insane, and I cannot wait for you guys to see more of this over the coming days. Definitely my most ambitious project yet, and I'm really hoping I don't hit the memory limit, but yeah, we'll take one more stroll down our tunnel, which I'm not sure what I even want to do with this yet. I might actually put storage in here or actually have villagers assigned to jobs in here. It's just a really cool concept for a bridge, and I love the way that it turned out. Let's take a step away and take one last peep at it, and yeah, this is gonna be insane. We just got to build up our actual village back there a little bit higher, but we'll do that in the coming episodes. There is one more thing that I want to do today, and it's gonna start with us depositing everything we currently have into a chest. And the reason we did that is because we need to go back to our main village for the last time in the video. If you guys remember earlier, I did eliminate a grassland storm wild brute, so I want to go claim our first expert trophy. I have no idea how you even do it though, so let me just get back to our base and we'll see you when we're there. And here we are back at our humble abode where I should be able to claim the trophy somewhere here. I'm not sure exactly where, but I did kill that brute. So is it just in my inventory or what's going on? Let's see. Oh wait, there it is. So let's go ahead and put down our grasslands trophy for the first time, and there it is, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's not too impressive. I still have to do it for the desert biome and the frostlands, but I'll make sure to do that in a future video so we can collect all of our trophies. But look at this one. It's got some trees on it. It's got a nice sculpture up top. Big fan of this one. But that's gonna be it from today's video, just getting started on our village build. As always, if you did, be sure to drop a like on the video, code Kaz in the item shop, and I will catch y'all tomorrow for another video where we're gonna continue our build project. Subscribe